I want to bring us up to speed about my experience. I told us in a video. That video was just a kind of brief story about how I got my 25 years experience in agriculture, basically root and tuber crops and general agriculture. But I will take you on videos on my success stories and my failures and how I go about scaling through. Today, I want to explain to us, for us to learn from my mistake and also how myself pushed through and learned from my mistake. How I lost above a 30-hectare cassava field to fire. Yes, it happened. But thank God that some were actually surveyed. But it almost took my life. Yes. You see, I said it that this field reminded me of that bad experience. But I will not say it is actually too bad because it was at the beginning of my career in the business of agriculture. And as a young farm manager, the experience was not actually there. You cannot actually compare classroom experience to field experience. That is why most persons learn in the job. Personally, there was no superior to teach me the rudiment of the job. I learned this job myself, and I have been doing it and doing it well. Please don't forget to ask me questions as regards root and tuber crops or agriculture generally. I will find a time and answer your question in detail that it will suit your answer will be favorable to you. I am not actually bragging, but out of my experience of 25 years in the field of agriculture, I did not read. I know I went to school. I went to school for 5 years and I have done my master's. I'm also pursuing my PhD. I have gotten the experience both on class and off class, on field and off field. So the experience is there. I teach you based on experience. So I urge you to always try your best to make your comment, asking me questions. I will answer. After the fire incidents, I actually succeeded and pick up from my mistake and continue moving. I told us that I lost about 30 hectares or more than 30 hectares of cassava to fire incidents due to negligence. What caused the loss? You see, as a farmer, we actually have what we call weeding regime when it comes to weed management in your field. So when you fail to do the normal weeding at the right time, you will fall a victim. You know, in Benue State of Nigeria and almost all over the country, once it comes to dry season, they must burn the bush for one reason or the other. The people of Benue State, precisely, they like hunting rats. And hunting rats, they believe that any small bush like this that rat will always be there. So they must put fire on that bush. And once that happens, the fire will definitely encroach into your farm. And sometimes also, those boys believe that the rat is inside their farm because your farm cassava field is bushy. So they will intentionally set fire on your cassava farm in your absence. It can be done in the night or early morning or in the afternoon when you are no longer in the field. When you come, you see that your farm has gutted. And when those fire, if it burns in the afternoon, it is very difficult to control. So the best thing for you to do is to learn from my experience. I actually learned the hard way. But you that is watching this video will not learn in a hard way. You will learn because from my experience, I am going to let you know the steps to follow to avoid that bad experience. That experience almost cost me my relationship with my superior because it was a kind of failure, a brutal failure at that. So we thank God, we succeeded, we survived it, and we pushed forward. How did I survive it? I will tell you in this video. Now, we learned subsequently to manage our field at the appropriate time. Say, for instance, this field you are seeing now, this field you are seeing this way, the soil cannot burn. And if the soil cannot burn, there is no way it can affect this fresh leaf. What can only affect this fresh leaf is if there are dry grasses around. Once there are dry grasses around the field or inside the field, the cassava must be affected. So the aim is to keep dry grasses away from your field during the bush burning period. The bush burning period starts from December through March. Yes, December through March. December, January, especially in Benue State, Harmattan period, the fire is always ravaging. Always ravaging. If the fire starts and there are dry grasses, the fire will last for hours. And anywhere there are dry grasses, the fire must burn. So what do? You must keep your field clean. You will say keeping field clean is tedious. It's not actually tedious. I have told us that you start your weed management operation as soon as you completed your planting. 24 hours after you are planting, you are supposed to start your field management as regards weed. I said you don't spray the same day you planted. I gave you reason why you must not spray the same day you planted. Because the cassava you planted was cut into planting stick. Those planting stick at cutting, they exude water, the whitish water. And that water, when interacts with chemical, would definitely affect the growth of the cassava. So we advise between 24 to 72 hours after planting. By that time, those water must have gone dry. You can now spray. But another thing you can do also is to bury completely. But why we don't advise burying completely is that coming out, the edge of the cassava coming out like this will always enable quicker germination. And if it starts growing, the strength is more compared to the one that was buried completely. You can see the difference between burying completely and standing. In some areas of Benue State, some of them, they even waste cassava stem to stand up to this height from the floor, up to this height. And I call it a waste of material, a waste of resources. I don't buy to that idea. There is no way you can break even if you are buying your stem and wasting them that way. So I advise them to avoid wasting such, claiming that it enables them for easy spraying. No. Once the head is, the ideal thing is to leave 1/3 outside and 2/3 inside. Yes, 2/3 inside, 1/3 outside is ideal for when you want to bring it out. So you don't bury all of them or bring all of them outside. for some reason best known to you that it doesn't work. You know, burying is not actually too bad, but coming out is also very good to boost the growth and cassava to stand well, so that you can, when you want to do your next spraying, the cassava must have grown to a certain level. So let's go back to where what I was talking about, how to control those fire. I said that your field must be clean. And I said, if you spray your cassava around June, say for instance, good, by June, we still have rain. If we still have rain by June, there is the tendency that this weed will grow again in the next 2 months. That is July, August. And by July, August, or September, the weed will now be matured. And when the rain goes down, the weed will start drying. You will assume as a farmer that your field is clean. So what do? You now allow your field because it's clean. The grasses are now drying. They are coming down. You are seeing your cassava, but not knowing that those dry grasses are danger. They are signs of danger to your cassava field. So the best time for you to do that maintenance is around September, October. Even if you have done spraying in June, and make sure that if you have green grass, green weed in your field around September, that is the best time, September, October, you spray when the rains are going, so that the weed will now dry, and the going rain will help to decay the dead weeds. And once they decay before the rain goes, the field will be clean. You are sure of having a clean field between December, January, February. Once your field is clean that time, there is nothing fire can do to your field. Fire cannot burn soil, I have told you that, and fire cannot burn stem. What aids fire burning in cassava farm is the dry grass. Once you keep away the dry grass by accurate timing of the spraying or weed maintenance, you are safe. That is how I survived and continue surviving, that I avoided fire the rest of the period I was the farm manager. You can learn from what I have taught you now, and I still want to let you know that you can always ask me questions. I will be available to answer. The comment section is there for you to ask those questions. Ask me any question, I will be available to answer you. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and comment and like our videos. We'll be glad you did. Thank you.